Hi YouTube. So, Brian here, and at the request of my friend Bill, he wanted someone to do a little tutorial on doing rose cuttings. So I've taken a branch here that's nice, it's got a few side branches on it, it should yield a fair number of cuttings for us. What we're going to be looking for are 2 to 3 node cuttings. We don't want something that's immediately right where the flowers have been. We want to go down just a little touch. So in this case, I'm going to take this branch off. This has where some flowers were at the very top. I'm actually going to take that part off because that's not where I tend to get any good growth from. I'm going to remove our lower couple of leaves here at the nodes. And to reduce transpiration, I'm going to take off most of the leaves. I like to leave them just to somewhere between 2 and 4, depending on the vigor of the cutting. I do find rose cuttings are a little tricky in that they can dry out very easily. They do need to be kept fairly humid. A lot of the commercial nurseries will do them in the large mist chambers where as soon as it starts to dry out, mist will come on multiple times a day to keep them nice and humid. But that's not what we're going to be doing here. So I'll take this. I've got some nice rooting hormone gel. You don't want to dip right into the container for fear of spreading viruses and things. I'll just dip this into the gel just up past a node. And with most of these cuttings, roses and varying different shrubs, I'm finding, I agree with a friend of mine, Judith, that perlite seems to be one of the best mixes to use. So I just take perlite, push it nice and tight into one of these garland cutting trays, get it nice and damp. It doesn't need to be wet. You can overwater them even if they're just in perlite. And I'll just take the cuttings and stick them straight in, nice and deep to the bottom. From a branch like this, we can definitely get a few good cuttings. There's another one here with a couple of nodes that I can go below. And what I'm actually going to do is there's a nice little side growth coming. I'm going to take a nice little 2-node cutting here. Again, rooting hormone up over that bottom node and tuck it nicely into the tray. I find the perlite's nice because you don't have to worry about, it compresses nicely when you push the cutting in. It doesn't sort of squish down like some of the soil mixes that are too heavy. Gives you a good contact, good even moisture, and with minimal effort. So in this instance, we'll do a few cuttings up. I would potentially fill a tray like this with different cuttings, different roses. Just make sure you label them all clearly. And then what I like to do is take a propagator lid, either a short one if you've got shorter cuttings. In this case, I'll probably need to grab one of my taller ones and just have the humidity in there. It'll keep them nice, keep them moist. Watch that the perlite is just damp. We don't want to keep it soggy, but we don't want to let it dry out. And these should strike root within the course of about a month. Some of the varieties will be fairly quick. You might get roots within a couple weeks. Some of them could take a little bit longer. But as long as the stems are nice and green, well worth just keeping them. I do find that the greenhouse can overheat with the rose cuttings, especially with their little humidity domes over them. So I often find they're easier to do on a light cart in the house where they're getting good even light but not having to worry about the heat issues. So Bill, I hope that was helpful. Take care.